Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I am the Gothic Rose, and this is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories. It makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. If this is your type of content, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and hit that bell, because I am not going to stop. Hello, dear fiends of the Den. It's me, the Gothic Rose. Me and my floating head are back to bring you some incredible news. Not only did we lose Malcolm Jamal Warner and Ozzy, but this morning, July 24th, 2025, we lost Hulk Hogan. Gen X is not okay. I was born in 1976, and the 80s were the absolute greatest time to be a kid, and the 90s were the greatest time to be a teen. And all of our icons are very quickly dying. It's heartbreaking. It's been a rough one, but now, in this post that I put up this morning, I talked about Blake Lively and her attack on content creators, Meghan Markle's show being canceled by Netflix, and the Epstein files that won't go away. And I got some comments that connected all three of these people together. So there are several content creators that have been sued by Blake Lively, and if you follow Zach Peter or Elsrich, they are getting to the bottom of a lot of the fact that they're still looking for this smear campaign, Blake Lively and her team. Now, I got a comment on TikTok. The comment is from someone named Casey. Thank you, Casey. And it says, and to top it off, Blake chooses the same law firm that represented Ghislaine Maxwell's father back in the day, must take only horrible people as clients. So let's check this out. So here is what I found out. So Blake Lively is currently represented by Wilkie Farr and Gallagher, a prominent law firm involved in her legal battle with Justin Baldoni. Conservative commentator Candace Owens recently claimed on her podcast that this is the same firm once represented Robert Maxwell, who is Ghislaine Maxwell's father, during investigations into his mysterious death and financial scandals. Now, the Macrons have filed a lawsuit against Candace Owens for her story about Bridget Macron being trans. So this is all going to get interesting. But this claim about Robert Maxwell's lawyer being the same one for Blake Lively references a 1992 Vanity Fair article that allegedly names Wilkie Farr and Gallagher as Robert Maxwell's legal counsel. So let's dive in deeper. It is interesting because this did exist. They did represent the same players. Now, does that mean that there is at all an Epstein connection to Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds? No. But there is a connection to Blake Lively and Harvey Weinstein and Woody Allen, which to me are just extensions of Epstein on the West Coast, East Coast too, actually, because Woody Allen does a lot in New York. So I think that there's branches out there, and I think that a lot of the players are the same. And remember, there was the blind item that there was a burner phone allegedly belonging to Blake Lively where she still contacted Harvey Weinstein that Ryan Reynolds did not know about. And according to Celebrity Blinds, Ryan Reynolds is getting tired of paying these exorbitant legal fees so that Blake Lively can subpoena TikTok and Google and X and Facebook or Meta or whatever she's getting at to see if there is a bot army of people behind this smear campaign. I mean, it's just going overboard. But yes, both Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds do have ties to men that are, what would you call them? Predators, offenders, traffickers, allegedly. Now we have to move on to Meghan Markle, who has been allegedly tied to yacht girls and a yacht with Prince Andrew on it, and everyone is alleging that Jeffrey Epstein either owned the yacht or had something to do with that particular yachting weekend. Now, we have seen these photos here of what appears to be Meghan Markle on a yacht. People have said this is not her, but I think it looks very much like her, especially the fedora and the sunglasses. It's a dead giveaway. She's always had that style. She has a very particular shaped face. She has a very particular body type. She has a very particular smile and a very particular way of holding her body. So I believe that this is her. And we're going to get into the fact that she may have known Prince Andrew before she knew Harry. Interesting. So, whether or not these photos are real, are photoshopped, is someone who looks like Meghan Markle and, maybe she's got a doppelganger out there. We don't know. Meghan Markle was named by attorney David Boies as a possible witness in the civil suit brought by Virginia Giuffre against Prince Andrew. Virginia Giuffre, who just passed away. Now, there were three reasons cited by this attorney. Meghan resides in the U.S., making her accessible for legal proceedings. She was not a member of the royal family during the time of Andrew's alleged misconduct and may have heard relevant conversations. And she's considered a credible witness who can be counted on to tell the truth. Interesting, because these people are painting her as a truth teller, and people in the media paint her as a liar. So we have to look into that. Now, it could be that she is a credible witness to what happened here, but she's not credible to a lot of the whining that's going on concerning the royal family. Now, there is no verified evidence that Meghan Markle had any personal or professional connections to Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell, and she claims that she met Prince Andrew, or any claims, I'm sorry, that she met Prince Andrew through Epstein or Maxwell are speculative, and these are not supported by any court documents. So both Meghan Markle and Prince Andrew were present at royal events, but they never seemed to have any sort of a relationship at all. And, it's just these things, like I said, are all speculation. So I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. But there is a very strange connection. As we know, Meghan Markle's With Love Meghan is not going to be renewed by Netflix. So here's what I found out. Her show is not canceled. Season 2 is coming up. So it's already filmed. It will premiere this fall, but Netflix is not renewing the $100 million deal with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry when it expires this September. So their deal from 2020 is wrapping up, and Netflix feels it got the most value from the couple's initial project, especially the Harry and Meghan docuseries, which remains the most watched documentary debut. So that is interesting. I mean, people were interested to see their point of view. I just think they went too far with blaming everything on the royal family. Just be yourselves and show us you thriving like you said you wanted to. Now, With Love Meghan debuted in March 2025 and did crack Netflix's top 10 during its first week, but it failed to reach the top 300 after that. Now, season 2 is confirmed, and it features guests like Chrissy Teigen. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. She is so controversial, and what she did to Courtney Stodden is awful. And Chef Jose Andres, very interesting, because there was a blind item stating that he was annoyed with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry during the California wildfires. Now, the fate of the third season is unclear, but Netflix hasn't ruled out the future of these one-off collaborations. But another blind item stated that Meghan Markle sold off about 50% of As Ever to Netflix. And then there is this blind item, and this is what ties Meghan Markle into the Epstein files. And like, I found this to be absolutely insane. With all the new interest in the Epstein files, one wonders if the illiterate one is worried about photos of her together with Epstein's last girlfriend, who was the last person to speak to him on the phone. So maybe she is in much deeper, because remember, politics and Hollywood, as I have discovered in my haunted history of Hollywood, go hand in hand since at least 1915 and probably earlier, when D.W. Griffith premiered his incredibly racist movie, The Birth of a Nation, at the White House to Woodrow Wilson, who later distanced himself from the film, saying it should have never been made. And that was when they used blackface in a very derogatory manner. And don't forget to catch my haunted history of Hollywood episode about Al Jolson and his use of blackface as well. Very strange that this all just comes back to the same place, but Hollywood history is American history, because Hollywood is intrinsically American. It was created here and nowhere else. No other country in the world has a Hollywood USA. We know very well that Epstein had connections to Bill Clinton, to Donald Trump, and to Prince Andrew. So he was in every faction. He was in politics. He was in entertainment, and he was even international into the royal world. So, what's verified with Donald Trump and Epstein's connection via social and personal ties is Trump and Epstein were social fixtures in Palm Beach during the 1980s to the early 2000s. Donald Trump once called Epstein a terrific guy, and in 2002, in a New York Magazine interview, also added, he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Jeffrey Epstein attended Donald Trump's 1993 wedding to Marla Maples. Trump flew on Epstein's jet at least 7 times between 1993 and 1997. Epstein was a regular at Mar-a-Lago until Trump reportedly banned him for inappropriate behavior. What would that inappropriate behavior have been? Because the only thing that I could find public was a feud about some real estate. He didn't say anything about who he was inappropriate with. Was it staff? Was it his wife? Was it his child? Was it his grandchild, if he had grandchildren at that point? So we also know that Donald Trump's name appears in Epstein's little black book, flight logs, and contacts lists, but no criminal allegations have been made against Trump in connection with Epstein's trafficking crimes. So Attorney General Pam Bondi briefed Trump in May of 2025 that his name appears multiple times in the DOJ files, and the FBI had so many people flagging thousands and thousands of mentions of Trump's name in these files within 24 hours that was cause for alarm. Now, of course, Trump denied wrongdoing. He called it fake news, sued the Wall Street Journal about the suggestive birthday card, said he never drew a picture, and blamed Obama. Now, MAGA base is fractured, and they want the full release of the Epstein files because he promised it during his campaign. We also know that Clinton has also denied any knowledge of Epstein's crime and has not been accused of any wrongdoing. So this is still sealed. Pam Bondi has been having a medical issue due to probably the stress from this, which, I'm sorry, you could hate her all you want, but I think that that's terrible that she's taking more of the brunt of this. Because as we know, Jeffrey Epstein said that Trump has no moral compass. And when a man like Jeffrey Epstein says this about you, you are worse than him if he's trafficking minors. So stay tuned for more Epstein files tomorrow. And I'm getting to now the moon, The moon conspiracy theory is my next one because of the stars on Mars. So probably next week or the week after, when I cannot find any more about this Epstein conspiracy theory until it hits the news cycle again on a big whirl, I will be back with this always because I am obsessed and invested. Also, stay tuned for a haunted history of Hollywood. We're going to talk Mae West and do a little early Oscars trivia, and of course, a tribute to the three great icons of Generation X that have passed away: Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, and Hulk Hogan. No politics in these episodes. Thank you for joining me in the den. So, if you have anything to add, anything at all, leave a comment, or if you have a big long story, email me at welcome to the den podcast at gmail.com. And thank you for joining me in the den.